This is an amazing story about a little Land Rover that served in the military, touched a young boy's heart, brought fun to a family, and fulfilled a dream for two brothers. The story of Brown Bolt is the story of the first Land Rover that I ever owned. It's a vehicle that I got my driver's license in. It's a vehicle that I did my first solo overland trip in. It's a vehicle that took me into adulthood. It's a vehicle that brings a smile to my face but leaves a tear in my eye. But best of all, it's a story with a surprising but very happy ending. I think my dad got tired of us driving his Land Rover through the water and mud and decided that we should get our own vehicles. Luckily, the SA Defence Force had been selling off their used Land Rovers, and my parents were able to buy a great condition used Land Rover at these auctions. Brian and I recalled the story on a recent chat. Because my dad had bought one for me as well, so that's the Bolt, or Brown Bolt, which was my first car.
Well, which you paid £2,500 for.
Yeah, is that how much it was?
Yeah, yours was £2,500.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
We had to build it together.
Yeah.
It was like a brother thing.
Yes,
like
yes,
children.
that's right. The first time we built it, we did it together, right?
And we took it when it was still brown, military brown. We got it running, and we went off to one of the Land Rover Club events. Yeah. And I remember we were so stiff when we went to school on the Monday because we spent every possible moment in that vehicle. Yeah, we were driving, we would go to the club events. The actual rally, the competition part of it was like an inconvenience. We just drove all the time. I got the vehicle in about 1985, where it had belonged to a mechanic, evident because it had a little spanner painted on the wing. This was a good sign because it meant that it had been well looked after. Brown Bolt got its name from the exceptionally high speeds obtained not only on slight downhills, but also on long, steep downhills. We spent a total of 15 years together and went everywhere. The most memorable journey was a 2-day solo trek from Johannesburg to Cape Town. For 2 days it was just the two of us cruising along. 21 odd hours of changing scenery, passing cars, the humming of a perfect 4-cylinder engine, and the agony of uphills and euphoria of downhills. It was a love-hate relationship. I loved to drive Brown Bolt both on the road and especially off-road, but I hated the fixing and repairs. Large amounts of water were no problem. Rivers, dams, ponds, puddles posed no real threat, in one side and out the other side. It was that elusive cool morning humidity which seemed to penetrate the different electrical connections every time. Only after trying all the shortcuts, lots of F-bombs, and laboriously cleaning every electrical connection did he spring to life as if nothing were ever wrong. We were invincible on our numerous windsurfing trips, with 6 or 7 boards on the roof or behind on the trailer, kit and supplies for a week, and a bunch of highly spirited mates, as many as could fit in. We were untouchable. Not even third gear and 40 kilometers an hour up hills could slow us down. But with times and priorities changing, the time had come to part and go our separate ways. I would miss the glimmer and gleam, hop and pop, rattle and squeak, and purr and bubble from our departed Series 2A 88-inch. I really missed my Landy and was sad to see it go. But Brown Bolt found a new home with Sean and his family, who spent many fond years together. There were many fun outings to play in the mud, and even spending a night with legendary adventurer and overlander Kingsley Holgate. But eventually it was time to move on again. But who would have thought what would happen next? It was unimaginable. So here's a surprising ending. My friend Dave and I spent many years and many trips in this Landy. And it's been almost 35 years since I got rid of it. But who would have thought that after all that time, Dave is now the owner of that Landy. So Dave, tell me, how did you actually get hold of this Landy?
Well, I was looking for a serious vehicle, and so I chatted to your brother Brian, and I said, Brian, can you look out for one for me? And then he said to me, oh no, the guy who owned this vehicle, Sean Stain.
Yes, I sold it to Sean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sean Stain might be looking to sell. So I went to go speak to Sean, and it was a couple of months later he contacted me and said, "Oh no, he's ready to sell."
Because I remember you called me and you said, "Al, I'm thinking about buying Brown Bolt."
Yeah.
And it was like quite a gentlemanly thing, because this is a Land Rover, and you got to see if it's going to be all right. If your best mate, is going to now be with your Landy. So I was like, Dave, that's fantastic. I mean, I wish I could get her, but hey, I got too many of my own. So anyway, so I said, no, fantastic, Dave, go for it.
So between my brother Chris and I, we bought the vehicle and got it restored, and the rest is history.
So you got her, and then, but I mean, that was Brown Bolt. I mean, now we're talking about Bolt.
Yeah.
So this is now different. So what happened then?
Well, the reason why I got Brown Bolt, you obviously know, is because it went really well, went really fast, and it still does. The only difference is that it's not brown anymore. So its name's Bolt.
So it's still Bolt, because it's still going like a rocket, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
So Dave, tell us about like the restoration, because you try to keep it like as original as you can, and it's got such a great color as well that you've chosen, and how's it worked out?
No, it's worked out well. So my bud decided that, and my wife decided that we should paint it heritage green. I was trying to decide whether to keep it, exactly the army color. But I think it turned out really nice, the color. And then all the rest of the components, we try to keep it as original as possible. So we've got the little frog lights over here, the jerry can holders in the front.
No, it looks awesome, Dave. You've done a brilliant job. I mean, it's just I'm so jealous. It's just the most amazing vehicle, and I'm so lucky to be able to still see it and even drive it. So the story of Brown Bolt is an amazing story of a really special Landy, and who knows where this Landy is going to go and what it will do in future. If you enjoyed the story, then please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to be the first to see any new episodes, then make sure you click on the notification button and you'll be the first to see. So until the next time, thanks and keep watching. Bye.